So welcome, my name is Lynn, and we're here for Slow Flow today. It'll be a 45-minute class, and then I'll do a longer Shavasana meditation, about 10 minutes. So I will move about 45 minutes-ish, and then we'll go into that Shavasana, and you can choose to stay as long as you like for that. And we'll just go from there. How about we start in a standing up position? And we'll ground through our feet, finding our mountain feet are underneath our hips, spreading those toes. Think about lifting the toes up, spreading those feet, and then ground those feet down into the mat. And then lift up from there. Kneecaps lift towards the hips, shoulders away from the ears. And then let's focus today on activating our core throughout the whole class. So I'm going to remind you throughout class. And the things I'm going to remind you of are pelvic floor lifting, called Mula Bandha. Think about lifting up in that pelvic floor. And then I'm also going to remind you to pull the belly button to the spine, which is called Uddiyana. It's not an actual bandha because we're not locking it, but Uddiyana action. So I'll remind you throughout class. So as we find that mountain pose, think about that mild engagement of all those muscles, including that Mula Bandha, lift of the pelvic floor, and Uddiyana action, pull of the belly. And just breathe here. Can you breathe with those things engaged? And exhale. Inhaling, welcome to close the eyes if we would like to close our eyes. And exhale. And I'm not playing music, so if you want to play your own music, please feel free to play your own music. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Let's add some arm movements with this. Welcome to keep the eyes closed. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhaling, hands to the center. Inhale, lift. Exhale through heart center. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhaling through heart center. Inhale, lift again, moving with our own breath at our own pace. Notice how we're feeling today as we move. How are we feeling physically? How are we feeling mentally? Emotionally? Just acknowledge how we're feeling here. One more inhale. And exhale, holding hands right at heart center. Inhale here, let's activate those legs. Exhaling, sitting back into chair, weight back in those heels. Inhale, lifting up. I'm going to start with my hands at heart center, but we are welcome to move them. We can inhale, reach overhead, and exhale, we can circle sweep, reaching forward or back to heart center. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, dropping into this. Inhale, lengthening our spine. Exhaling into those heels. So notice how we're activating through our core here. Are we still active in the core? Are we lifting that Mula Bandha and engaging in that Uddiyana action, even as we go through chair pose? Finding one more chair pose. Inhale, lift those arms overhead, and exhale, release the arms by our sides, finding mountain. Inhale, arms reach up. Clasping our hands or stacking the hands as we lengthen over our head. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lean to one side. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lean to the other side. Inhale, lifting up. Go back to the other side. And I'll lift my camera up just a little bit. There we go. And back to the other side. Inhale, and then exhale, release the arms down by our side. Let's do chest opener here. Hands behind our back. We can either clasp or rest them on the hips. If we want to rest them on the hips, pull the elbows and shoulders back. And if our hands are clasped, straighten those arms. We can lift slightly off the back if our hands are clasped. And just breathe, open across the collarbones. Notice how our chest is feeling. Is it tight? We're feeling it into the upper arms. On our next exhale, slowly releasing our arms down by our side. Go ahead, inhale, lift up. Let's go into that forward fold. Exhale, soften those knees, tip from the hip, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Rising all the way back up, swan dive, all the way back up to the side. Exhale to chair, choose where you want those arms. Inhale, lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to step back, hands to the ground, soften the knees, into that downward facing dog. Feet about hip width apart, pushing through those shoulders. So I block that dog, bend one knee in, press one heel down. Inhale, lift, exhale, and press. Inhale, lift, exhale, press one heel. Notice how those calves are feeling today. Go ahead, hold that down dog. Press through the shoulders, softening our knees. Breathe. Let's slowly drop those knees to the mat. Hands come underneath our shoulders. We spread those fingers or do fists for wrists. We're protecting our wrists. Knees are under our hips. Take a nice deep breath in, going into cats. And as we exhale, focus on arching up in cow. So switching between cat and cow, noticing how the spine is feeling. We have tightness through the spine today. Just pay attention. Finding that cat and cow. Maybe a couple more here. Really, I want you to think about engaging the core. Are you pressing the tops of the feet down to pull the core up as we arch in the cat? And then are we using the core to release to cow? So instead of just doing that movement, think about what's happening with the abdominal and back muscles to go between the two poses. Finishing the one that we're on here, returning to all fours position, finding all fours, going to spinal balance. Take that right foot back behind us, we're pushing the heel against the wall. Left arm forward, reaching out. Inhale, pull it in. And switch sides. Exhale, reaching long. We can keep that back foot down or we can lift it up. Inhale, pull it in. Switching sides. Again, let's focus on our core here. What is happening with the core? Are we still pulling that Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha? Are we still using it as we move? Remember, that's the focus I'm going to remind you of each pose today. Notice the difference it makes when we actually think about using our core for each pose instead of just kind of falling into it. Taking our time, alternating side to side here. So I finished the one that we're on, returning to all fours. Bring the soles of our feet together. Knees sit back over the heels, finding chest. Pressing into the mat. Really think about our shoulders here. Are we active through the shoulder? Just breathe. Those hips can be up any amount, finding that place of comfort. We may return to child's pose anytime during our yoga practice. You can use it in place of yoga. Inhale, lifting up, walking to one edge of the mat. Sit back into that opposite hip. And breathe. Inhale, lifting up, walk across the mat, and sit back into the opposite hip. And notice if one side is feeling tighter than the other, or you feel more of a stretch. Inhale, lifting up, come back to center, find child's pose in center. Start generating some movement in our shoulder. Walk those knees in if they were separated wide. Sit back over those heels and then inhale, shift forward to kneeling plank. Again, we can use those palms pressing into the mat here. And really think about maybe pressing into that thumb bone and create a little space under the center of the palm. We press on the outside of the hands, both sides, and have a little lift in the center. Our shoulder blades are moving down the spine and then up the spine. Moving with our own breath at our own pace, taking any options that we need. And we're going to add a little crocodile push-up here. Welcome to add it the next time we come forward. Inhaling forward, making sure the shoulders are over the fingers before we bend, and then press back up. So just adding that little crocodile push-up. Elbows bend, stopping with our chest at our elbows, and coming back. So moving with our breath, inhale forward, exhale, bend the elbows, inhale, lift, exhale back. Moving at our own pace, with our own breath. So we're going to come all the way forward. We're going to hold that little push-up here, just a little hold. And then try to just drop the hips down all the way, and then the chest can follow. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift the chest up. Feet are wider than those hips. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifting up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower down. This time, we're going to slowly press back into chest. Inhale, lifting up. We're going to down dog. Turn those feet over. Exhaling as we lift down dog. Feet about hip width apart. Breathing. And we're going to slowly walk those feet towards our hands, coming back into forward fold. Soften our knees as much as needed. And then reverse swan dive. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, let's find our mountain pose. We're going to go into a reverse or a stepping reverse lunge. So I'm going to stay facing this direction. So you want to be towards the front end of your mat. We're going to step back in a lunge. And we're going to open our arms wide and then back together. And then other leg, step back and come back together. So alternating side to side, giving me that chest expansion here. Opening the chest and back together. Landing on the ball of our foot and back together. Breathing. Noticing what's happening in our core. Are we still lifting through the core and pulling towards the spine? We're going to take the next one and we're going to hold it back here. Hold, sink down, pull the elbows back, breathing. Release the arms behind our back. The resting on the hips will clasp. Tipping forward. So we're extending this lunge, pushing the ball of the back foot. Hands can lift off the back or stay on the low back. Breathing. Inhaling. As we exhale, release the hands towards the ground. And if we want to use yoga blocks or book stacks, please feel free to use those. Drop that back hip down. We're still in a lunge here, low lunge. We went from high lunge to low lunge. Breathing. And now we're going to drop that back knee down. Front knee is in line with our ankle here, sinking into our hip. Option to go into a twist. So we can take that back arm, lifting up or behind our back, finding our lunge twist here and breathe. Notice how that front hip is feeling as we hold. Slowly release the hand back towards the ground. Foot into a hamstring stretch, walking back either with the fingertips towards the ground or bringing the yoga blocks with you. Breathing. Slowly coming back forward, finding that kneeling lunge. We're going to walk up that leg here, lifting the chest. And you can stay on the leg, heart center or overhead. If we're overhead, we're going to grab at the opposite wrist and pull across. If we're at heart center, we're going to lean to the side. So taking our altitude. Breathe. Slowly release to center, hands drop back down towards the ground or yoga blocks. Turn the back foot over, lifting our knee up, finding that low lunge. Inhaling. As we exhale, we're going to step our feet together, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhaling to chair. Choose where we want those arms. Inhale, lift. Exhale to mountain. Going back to that stepping back lunge. Open the chest, alternate legs. Switching from side to side. And just notice, we've done one side. We're going to get ready to do the other side. We're going to make sure when we hold, it's the other leg. Mine was my right leg the first time. If I said right leg, hopefully we all did right leg. Otherwise, make sure we're on the opposite leg. Are we ready? Taking our left leg back and hold. Sink into the hips. Elbows back. Nice. Releasing the hands behind our back. We can clasp or rest on the hips. We're going to tip forward. Extended lunge, pushing the ball of the back foot. Front knee in line with that ankle. And what's happening in our core? We're pulling the belly button towards the spine, lifting through Mula Bandha. Releasing the hands towards ground or yoga block. Low lunge, dropping that hip. Option to keep the foot up, twisting lunge, picking our right hand up in the air or behind our back. If we want to be on our knee for this, we can be. Breathing. Slowly releasing down. Dropping that back knee down. Kneeling lunge here. Front knee in line with the ankle still. Slowly walking back. Pull the toes towards the nose, fingertips towards the ground, or yoga blocks. Feeling the stretch of the backs of those legs. How's this hamstring feeling on the right side? Slowly walking back forward, bending our knee, coming back to kneeling lunge. And then we're going to walk up the chest, lift the chest up. The kneeling lunge, hand to thigh, heart center or overhead. If we're overhead, we're going to grab left wrist, pull across the body. If we're at heart center, we're going to lean across the body. Our hands on our leg, we're just holding. Slowly release and coming back down into that low lunge. Engage the core. We're going to turn that back foot over, lifting our knee up, finding low lunge. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling on our next exhale, stepping feet together, forward fold. Softening our knees. Inhale, reverse swan. Exhaling to chair. Choose where we want the arm for holding chair. So choose where we want those arms. Sink back into those hips. And then if we'd like to balance in our chair, lift those heels up. So choose if we want to do balancing chair. If we're not ready to balance, just maybe lift one heel and then the other, alternating side to side. And can we sink a little more into our chair no matter what pose we are in, which part of it. Dropping both heels down, exhaling, forward fold. Stepping both feet back to downward facing dog. From here, shifting forward to plank 3 times. So we're welcome to stay on our toes as we shift forward and then back. Notice we're unhinging the hip. What happens in the core? Are we engaging through the core? Then we're going to hinge the hip back up into that downward facing dog. So there is a hip hinge. We go back up, holding downward facing dog. Going through a bottom half kneeling sun salutation. First time, I'm going to drop my knees down, shift forward to plank. Bend the elbows. I'm going to drop all the way to the mat, coming to baby cobra. And I'm going to exhale back to downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Option, you can stay on the toes. Shifting forward to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog if we want it. Exhaling back to down dog. Walk that dog, alternate those heels. If we come back to that, we can choose kneeling or not kneeling. That bottom half, sun salutation. Picking up our right leg, lunging it forward. We're going to find warrior 1. Plant the back foot down. Inhaling, rise. Hips towards the front of the room, bending that front knee, digging down into the hips. Hands to heart center or overhead. So finding our warrior 1 here, right foot is in front. Beautiful job. Let's go ahead, think about bringing our hands down and keeping that heart center to start, tipping forward, looking towards the floor. Staying here, we can activate that core and then lift those arms forward or out wide to the side. So choosing heart center, arms forward or wide. Pressing into the back heel and front foot equally. Inhale, lifting up, hands can go overhead, and then bring those arms down. Stepping that back foot in, we're going to go into pyramid pose. Tipping from the hip, walk down the legs. We can stop at the shin, take our hands to yoga blocks, or all the way to the floor. Breathing here. Noticing what's happening in our bodies. And are we thinking about our core? Should be slightly engaged, even though most of the action is probably happening in the legs. Slowly walking forward, use yoga blocks or hands to the floor. Lift the back leg up. Right here is like warrior 3. Push through the back heel. I have my hands down. We can choose to stay here. We can choose to lift up to a full warrior 3. Or we can choose to do a half moon, rotating to the side. Choosing whatever feels okay. And pick your balance pose for the day. If we're rotated, bring the hands back towards the ground. Pulling the foot in, soften the knees, forward folds. Reverse long leg. Exhale to chair. Choose balancing chair if we like. Drop the heels down. Forward folds. Stepping both feet back to downward facing dog. Choosing our options for sun salutation. Shifting forward to plank or kneeling plank. Crocodile chaturanga. And either baby cobra or up dog. Feet turning over, exhaling, down dog. Walk that dog, alternate those heels. We're going to go to the other side. Pull down dog. Inhaling, left leg in the air. lunge between those hands. We can assist. And then we're going to plant the back foot down. Warrior one, walk up the leg. Hands can be at heart center or overhead. Sinking down into those hips, bending that front knee nice and long. Releasing our arms behind our back. Open the chest. Tilt it forward, halfway forward. Then we're going to choose to release those arms, either straight forward or out wide to the side. And also come to heart center. Push through both feet equally. Breathing. Inhale, lift the head up, bring the arms by our side. Stepping that back foot in for pyramid. So it's a shorter stance. Toes are forward. Tipping from the hip. Walking down the leg, soften the knee to start. We can stop at the shin. We can reach towards ground or yoga block. Straightening our front leg. And breathe. Notice how the pyramid pose feels on this side. Feel different than the other side. Pay attention. Softening our front knee, we're going to walk on forward. I'm going to lift my back leg up. So it's kind of like a warrior three almost. And we can choose to keep the hands on the ground. We can choose to lift. We can take the arms straight forward in a full warrior three. Or we can choose half moon. Whatever you chose on the other side, choose the same thing here. And breathe. Lots of balancing options here, just whatever we chose. Keep it the same on this side. Releasing back towards the ground and stepping feet together, forward folds. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhaling, forward fold. Stepping both feet back to downward facing dog. Sun salutation, make your choices here. Shifting forward to plank or kneeling plank. Crocodile. Up dog or baby cobra. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Breathing here. Slowly drop our knees down to the mat. Finding child's pose. We're going to get ready for dolphin. We want our forearms, our elbows under the shoulders, forearms, either hands can come together or towards the mat. We're going to turn our feet over. We're going to lift into a down dog on our forearms. Tiny dolphin. Now, as we're here, think about our core. We're pulling the belly button to the spine. Are we finding Mula Bandha? Can we shake our head yes and no? Not touching the ground. If we want, we can walk our feet towards our elbows. If anybody wants to go to the forearm stand, welcome to bring the foot in and kick both feet up like a forearm headstand. Slowly dropping our knees back towards the mat. Funny child's pose. Inhale, lifting up. Let's lengthen our legs onto our mats and bring our hands together, pressing our forehead on our hands. So we're going to do a locust pose, and then we're going to flip to half bow. Hands by our hips. Palms are down. Inhaling, lift up, engage the core. Lift the hands, lift the legs. Finding locust pose here. Breathe. Slowly lowering down. I'm going to roll to my left hip. And I might, if I have a yoga block, I could put it kind of behind my shoulder to rest my head on it. Then I'm going to take my right foot, grab my foot, half bow, flex your foot, and then pull those knees together and push our hips forward. Finding our half bow here. Just notice how we're feeling through the legs, through the quadricep. Slowly releasing. And you can just roll over. I'll flip over so you can see me if you want to see me. Or you can flip over onto the right hip. And then we're going to slowly bend that left knee in. Flex the foot, push those hips forward, and breathe. Inner thighs squeeze together, pushing the hips forward. How's the quadriceps? I know mine are super tight today. How's everybody else's feeling? Slowly releasing. Roll back to the belly. Let's press back into child's pose. Inhale, lifting up. Go and have a seat. Legs out front. Nice and long. Maybe rocking back and forth, finding those sitting bones. Feet about hip width apart. Shoulders away from the ears. Engage that core. Tipping from the hip. Walking forward. Looking towards those knees. Breathe. Slowly walking back. I'm going to take my right foot, cross it over my left thigh. Make sure you're above the knee. Pull the toes towards the knee, giving me that foot lock. Hands by the hips. Fingertips can point out. We're doing our seated pigeon today. We're going to bend our bottom leg. And we can either adjust by pulling that foot in. We can shift the hips forward or back. The thing we want to focus on is lifting the chest, shoulders away from the ears, and opening the hip, breathing. How is the seated pigeon? A little bit more control here than we have sometimes when we're in a downward facing pigeon. Slowly slide that leg back up, sitting back upright. Uncrossing the legs, switching legs, pulling that left leg across, pull the toes towards that left knee, taking our hands by our hips, and then bending in the bottom leg and that right leg bends in. And we can choose how far we bring that foot in. We can choose to adjust the hips. Think about lifting the chest as much as we can, opening that heart center, finding pigeon pose, or seated pigeon pose here. Slowly, as we exhale, release that foot down. And both feet out long. A little shake here. Nice job. So lay on our backs, lay down the mats. Hugging our knees into our chest. You can rock back and forth or side to side. Dropping both feet to the mat, we're going to go into bridge. Anybody would like to do shoulders stand in place of bridge, welcome to go there. Palms beside us. Inhaling, as we exhale, either lift the hips or lift the legs completely if we're going to shoulder stand. Lifting up into that bridge. I'm going to stay in bridge today, but again, welcome to go to shoulder stand. Bridge shoulder stand, supporting those hips. All the weight is in the shoulders, making sure no weight is in the neck, no matter what pose we're in. You want to keep those feet about hip width apart, so check them in either pose. Breathing. And if we're in bridge, welcome to roll the shoulders and hand can clasp underneath. We're in bridge. slowly release the hands and take it out. If we're in shoulder stand, feel free to come out of shoulder stand slowly whenever we're ready, slowly and safely. Bring our knees into our chest again, rocking back and forth or side to side. Going to happy baby. Feet grab behind the thighs, arches the feet or big toes. Dropping our knees outside the body. Tucking our chin like there's a piece of fruit under it. Happy baby pose. So you can rock back and forth or side to side. Notice how our inner thighs are feeling here. Slowly releasing our feet all the way. Bringing our feet together, all the way together. Inner thighs and feet touching, arms wide at our shoulders. Take a breath here. As we exhale, dropping our knees to the left side, keeping our right shoulder down. If we need to shift the hips a little, please shift the hips. And if we want to extend the top leg straight, please feel free for a deeper spinal stretch. Extend the top leg straight. Pulling those feet back together whenever we're ready. And pulling those knees back to center. Switching sides, dropping our knees to the other side, lifting our hips, keeping that shoulder down, breathing. And if we'd like to extend that leg, top leg straight, please do so. Deeper spinal stretch. And breathe. Pulling those feet back together. Knees coming back to center. Hugging both knees into our chest. Rocking back and forth or side to side. Slowly dropping both feet down to the ground. Let's hug our left knee in and straighten the right leg. And then lengthen that right foot in the air. Grab behind the thigh or the calf. Push that heel up. Pulling the leg towards the chest. Slowly bend our knee. Taking our right hand on that left leg. We're going to pull it across. Left shoulder is going to stay down. Just hold here. The spine release. Slowly rising back to center. Setting that left foot down. Let's extend the left leg long and hug our right knee in. And then let's extend the right leg up in the air. Press the heel up, pull the leg towards the chest, nice long hamstring stretch. Soften our knee. Grab the outside of that leg with your left hand and pull it across. Keeping that right shoulder on the ground if we can. Pulling that knee across. Get a spine release here. Slowly coming back to center. We'll give you an option here if you're close to a wall to do legs up a wall, or we can choose to put our legs over a chair. So imagine your legs being on a chair. So legs up the wall or legs on a chair or the back of the sofa, whatever we have here. Let's go ahead and find that. This is is where we're going to finish our class, and then I'll give options to go into that meditation. Go ahead, slide up to that chair or furniture or wall. Giving me that legs up the wall if we have it available to us. Arms can be beside us, resting on the belly and the chest as we breathe, or long overhead. Do we know the benefits of doing our legs up in the air? Whether it can be any inversion with our legs up in the air. The benefits are, helps drain our lymph glands. Our lymph glands are all over our body and there isn't really a drainage system for them. So it helps them kind of drain the other direction. So if we notice at the end of the day if our feet are more swollen than normal, try doing some legs up the wall for a bit or up some furniture. And it might help that drainage that we get from our lymph system. So we're welcome to stay in a neutral place with those feet about hip width apart. We could also choose to open those legs wide if we have that space and we're on a wall. Or we could choose to come into a butterfly. Okay. So choosing any option for those legs. And breathe. About inhaling that energy into our body wherever we're holding those legs and exhaling out. About inhaling in and exhaling out. As we breathe, kind of check in with our bodies. How are we feeling towards the end of our yoga practice today? Maybe think about something that we're grateful for today. Show some gratitude. What's one thing we're grateful for? Think about that. And just breathe. While we're here, think about relaxing through the facial muscles, making sure we're not holding tension in our facial muscles, our forehead or jaw. Making sure those shoulders are relaxed away from the neck, away from the ears. Feel free to change leg position at any time. We are let straight up, go wide or wide, maybe do butterfly or straight up. So choosing again if we want to shift positions with our legs, please do so. Still focusing on our breath, even though we changed our legs. And just let our bodies settle in. Some stillness today. If we have our legs in any other position, please extend them straight back up or bent if we're against something that needs to be bent. We're going to come out of this. The easiest way to come out is to just drop those legs to the side, kind of rolling to your side and slowly pressing to an upright, comfortable seated position. Finding an easy seated position, I'll finish the 45-minute slow flow and go into meditation. Give me a couple breaths right here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. More inhale and exhale. Bringing our hands towards heart center. You're going to choose to leave this practice today. The greatness in me honors the greatness in you. Namaste. If you would like to stay for an extended Shavasana / meditation, please find a comfortable position. We can lay flat, we can sit. If you're sitting, I recommend sitting up on some pillows or blankets to lift those hips a little bit. We're just going to breathe and focus on our bodies for about 10 minutes. So settling into wherever we would like to be. Finding that position that is comfortable for us, that we can hold for a bit. Once we're there, we're going to tune into our breath. Think about inhaling, letting those ribs expand in all directions. And then exhaling out the back of the throat and out that nose. So really connect with our breath right here. Inhaling and exhaling. So see if we can inhale, have a slight pause at the bottom of our breath. And then as we exhale out the back of that throat, out the nose, have a slight pause. Inhale, deep breath, slight pause, and then exhale, emptying the lungs completely, slight pause. So continue with that breath in this way, adding those slight pauses between the inhale and the exhale. Maybe begin to think about what we would like to focus on during this meditation today. Maybe choose something that's speaking to us right now that we would like just to kind of focus on. Could be love and kindness to someone. So maybe we want to focus on projecting out love and kindness to someone specific. Maybe we want to have gratitude for something. Maybe we want to celebrate joy or happiness. So think about what that is and what it might look like for us today as we focus on our breath. Deciding what we just want to kind of focus on as we breathe. Making sure that our shoulders are pulled away from our ears as we settle in, breathing, and thinking about whatever that thing is that we're focusing on today. And maybe it's a mantra or affirmation. And I am strong. I am peace. Whatever that might be, just kind of think about that as we breathe. And anytime the mind starts to wander, try to come back to that thing that we're focusing on today. The mind will probably wander, and it's okay, that's normal, that's what our mind is designed to do. We use our breath, pull it back in, and then focus our thoughts. We can tie some other type of feeling to that thing that we are thinking about today. How does that make us feel when we're thinking about that item or that mantra? And if we feel our mind wandering off, come back. Focus on the breath. Focus on our sankalpa, which is what we're focusing on for today. Maybe notice if our breaths can extend a little longer. We do a longer inhale or a longer exhale. Letting our bodies just settle into this stillness, focusing on our breath and our mantra or loving kindness, gratitude. Slowly bringing awareness back into our bodies. Maybe it's the movement of the breath. Maybe we're noticing the contacts of our body with the floor. Slowly coming back into this present moment. Maybe wiggle our fingers and toes or roll the wrists, ankles, just inviting some movement into our body. We've been in stillness for about 9 minutes. We're welcome to start to flutter those eyes open softly, slowly. Let's do a few breaths together. So if we'd like to invite movement, we need to keep the hands beside us, or if we want to add some movement, we can inhale and sweep our hands overhead. Whatever feels good to us today. If we want to add movement, inhale, lifting up, and exhaling through heart center. Inhale, lifting. Exhaling through heart center. One more time. Bringing our hands towards heart center. Thumbs pressing against our hearts. The greatness in me honors the greatness in you. Namaste. Thank you for coming to Slow Flow. I will unlock the mutes.